Well, hi again, everybody. Thanks for visiting IMetAWrestler.com one more time. This is Daniel Donnelly, and you may be aware, and you should be aware, of an upcoming documentary film that's about to be released. It's called GLOW, the story of the gorgeous ladies of wrestling. It's been doing the rounds on the film festival circuit. It was actually awarded the Hot Docs official selection. And I'm joined today by one of the stars of the film, and also one of the original GLOW girls. It's the one and only Little Egypt. Little Egypt, how are you doing today?
Good, Daniel. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. And hey, I really appreciate you taking some time out to speak with me today.
Oh, I'm happy to do it, and I'm real excited about the documentary. It took 2 years in the making, and it's finally getting its first world premiere on April 27th in Toronto at Hot Docs, at the Hot Docs Film Festival, which is a very large festival. And to be picked as one of the official documentaries, it's just a real feather in the cap to all the work that the documentary guys have done.
Absolutely, and that is wonderful. And you know, it's been this is round about, I guess, a little over 25 years now since GLOW first debuted. I think it was late 85, 86, something like that. So it seems like perfect timing to revisit everything that you guys accomplished back then.
Yeah, it is really nice, and it does pay homage to the work we did. It also highlights the fact that for female workers in the industry, we broke down barriers, and that was what was compelling about this documentary. It wasn't just the story of female wrestling. It was the camaraderie we had with each other, the fact that it was the first all-female wrestling show to ever be launched on television, the fact that it had a 4-year run, that it went into global syndication for an additional 10 years, that we still pick up followers today. It's got a cult following, and so it hits the audience on a lot of different levels. You don't even have to understand wrestling to appreciate what this documentary is going to bring to the table.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you say, aside from the wrestling as well, it was like you guys were almost pioneers in the medium of the reality show. You know, the comedy sketches that you guys were doing, and the some of the backstage dramas and things. I mean, that's so common on TV today, but it wasn't as popular back in the 80s. It's almost like you guys were doing that first.
You know what? It was, and we owe it all to our director, Matt Simber, who was a visionary and came from Hollywood and had a real good idea on what was going to work on television, and we were politically incorrect. We were cutting edge in the sense that we were constantly pushing the envelope on what we could get away with, and it turned out to be something that fans really appreciated and enjoyed watching.
Absolutely. And you know, that was something I was going to mention a little later, but you know, as we just brought it up, it's funny to go back and look at some of the episodes. It was almost like the pre-lawsuit era. You know, we're so trigger happy now about suing each other and political correctness, and you look back at some of those episodes and you guys were like wielding chainsaws around, there was fire getting thrown around, chairs were getting smashed, and wood was flying into the crowd, and you couldn't get away with that stuff these days.
Oh, are you kidding? And then you had Matilda with her Nazi-themed match against Fiji and Americana, and the stomping of the flag, and then Nushka really had to pay close attention on being extremely discreet as possible in her real life because of what she was, pushing on television, and just firing up the audience to the point where we were afraid for her in a lot of aspects.
Oh God, I can imagine. Yeah, a lot of political content going on there. Well, you know, there's a story.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you know, there's a story that you've told several times in interviews. It's also on your official Facebook page as well, about how you broke into GLOW and into the wrestling business. And as I understand it, you're working in a t-shirt store at the time, and I think a couple of the performers, Fiji and Olympia, actually came in to buy shirts for the show and encouraged you to get involved and to meet with David McLean. And it was just 2 weeks after that meeting that you were actually in the ring wrestling. Is that true?
You know what, Daniel, it was, and I commend you on the groundwork you did before this interview. Thank you very much. And I'm glad you used the resources of Facebook and utilizing the official page of Little Egypt, which is an open fan page for anyone interested in learning more about the GLOW history and seeing some behind-the-scenes footage of girls and what we looked like, back then, what we're looking like now. So thank you. And yes, that is the story. I appreciate the accurate account.
Good, good. No, that's great. And I advise everyone to check out your Facebook page as well. I'll make sure we have a link up on the on the website and the interview page, so people can go there, they can like it, and it is fascinating. It's wonderful to see, you know, the girls back in that wrestling prime, and the ladies now that they've grown into, and you know, a lot of them have aged really well. You know, you guys really took care of yourselves, and it's almost like some even look better than they did back then. It's a big compliment.
Thank you. And, you know, I'll tell you, Sally the Farmer's Daughter just surfaced and has her own fan page, and you can find her link on my profile page, Glow Little Egypt, on Facebook, where you can look at the official page of Little Egypt to connect with Sally the Farmer's Daughter. And she has been posting her modeling pictures after Glow, and some of the work she did for Playboy, CoverGirl, and and what she looks like now. It's just, she's an incredible beauty, and she's really happy to engage with all the girls again, and we're so happy she surfaced. There's still more to come, and I'm really excited about the documentary coming out, so hopefully word of mouth and just the popularity of the movie may cause other girls to use social media to locate us, because we're trying to be very, very visible right now, not just for the fans, but for the other girls. I can tell you that the girls that are coming into Las Vegas are also coming in for the CAC convention, and for those of us in the industry, CAC stands for the Cauliflower Alley Club. It's a nonprofit organization, and it doesn't just include the GLOW legends, but WWE legends, TNA legends, ECW, all the, you know, all the great supporters of this industry show up once a year at this reunion to attend seminars and to, you know, induct future legends into the CAC Hall. And this year, Daniel, we are so excited because Lisa Moretti, who played Tina Ferrari in GLOW, who went off the Ivory in the WWE, three-time world champion, is getting inducted as the female legend this year. How exciting is that?
That is incredible. And I was a big fan of Lisa during the WWE years as well, when she was Ivory. And I remember her back in the Tina days as well. She's had a really, really good career. She made a lot of success in the wrestling business. So,
you know what she did? She was an example for that time period as well, because not only does she give kudos to the work we did in GLOW, because being kind of a quasi-wrestling variety show, we always, you know, the insecurity in us was always apprehensive to see how we were going to be taken by the wrestling industry. And Lisa Moretti going off and becoming such a superpower in the industry gives a lot of credit to the work that we've done. And that's where I spend most of my time and my focus, is making sure that, you know, we preserve the legacy and the work that we've done, and to continue to support female workers on their way up and the indie markets, and anything we can do to be an advocate for female workers. That's where I want to put my time and energy.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic, and that makes a lot of sense, because it seems like that's almost the legacy of GLOW, was in a lot of ways it was female empowerment. You know, when you talk about the things that Lisa accomplished, I know in a lot of her interviews she always talked about how she pushed to try and, you know, get away from the, you know, no disrespect to them, but, you know, the models and that kind of thing, that she wanted it to be real athletic and real strong role models, you know, for the young girls out there. And it's almost the same with you as well, because one of the things I wanted to mention was about the female empowerment, is how since GLOW, you've actually gone on now to become a very successful entrepreneur and a businesswoman of your own. As I understand it, involved in things like real estate and the food industry. And you mentioned the Cauliflower Alley Club. You're actually going to be giving a seminar there to the crowd on things like social media, branding, and cross-promotion. So that's another success story right there of the female empowerment and good, strong role models for women. Would you like to comment on that?
Well, yes, Daniel, I would. This is my second year speaking at the Cauliflower Alley Club. The first year I spoke on social media, focusing mostly on Facebook. This year, we're branching off and incorporating the other major social networks and how we can cross-promote and brand. And this isn't just for the indie workers. There are, you know, workers that have been in our industry for over 20 years that are very interested in trying to grasp this whole social media experience. In addition to my social media class, it's going to be followed by a question and answer period, of which we're going to have lead singer and frontman Billy Corrigan of the Smashing Pumpkins. He will be there to give us his insight on his own personal experience in social media through the music industry and the similarities and differences that social media has on the wrestling industry. And he's an incredible resource for us in the wrestling industry because he did launch his own wrestling promotion. Resistance Pro launched last year, and they've had a lot of success.
That's right.
Resistance Pro will be at the CAC this year. Billy Corgan and his team are also going to be there in full force to support the CAC. And also, I'm going to be speaking with Dr. Dave Reese, who is a psychiatrist, and we're forming a panel so that we can discuss using panel members on how to transition from the work that you've done in wrestling and how that can become a viable income stream for you as you get out and slowly transition out of the industry. If you want to stay in the industry, what to look for, what do predators look like in the industry. Mm-hmm. It's not just a female-based panel. It will touch on, males are just as much affected by predators and con artists and being taken advantage of in this industry as much as women are. And so that's what our panel is going to be focusing on. So I'm real excited about that because it's kind of two different things going on. And the CAC being a real supporter of the indie work that's out there right now and trying to be the umbrella organization of all the other promotions by providing a real safe and informative atmosphere for all workers. Mm-hmm. The fact that they're opened up to doing this type of a panel is real exciting for everyone who's involved.
Yeah, that is wonderful. And so many times when the media focuses on wrestling, it's always like the Scott Hall piece on ESPN and the Mickey Rourke movie, and it's always this stereotype of the broken down old wrestlers. You never really get any spotlight on the positive stuff like what you're doing with this panel discussion. And if anything comes out of this interview, I think it should be that everyone's aware of that and the good stuff that you're doing for all the workers in the business right now. And you should be commended for that.
Well, thank you. I really feel like everyone has an opportunity to give back. I feel like these are my strengths, and that's what I want to, that's what I want to try and share. Mm-hmm. I also, there's a lot of different organizations I could be affiliated with, but what stands out for me in regards to the CAC, Cauliflower Alley Club, mm-hmm. is that they have a benevolent fund, and I don't know if you're aware of that or not, but the benevolent fund is a fund used to support workers who don't have the resources available for the most minimal things that are of so much importance, like maybe a walker or some care for rehab and oftentimes, sometimes funeral expenses. Mm-hmm. And so the money that's raised at the CAC goes to support the benevolent fund, and I want to support an organization that is going to give back to the industry that has been so good to me and so good to so many of our girls. And if that's the least I can do, it's an honor to do it.
Oh, yeah. That's incredible. That's wonderful stuff. Well, just to shift the subject real quickly, one other thing I wanted to ask you about was, the female wrestling today in WWE and TNA. Like, one of the criticisms that you sometimes hear is that other than Awesome Kong, Karma, it seems like all the girls are very similar these days in terms of body types and, image and that kind of thing. And, back in the GLOW days, I think because they recruited so many girls from different walks of life, you had dancers, stunt women, models, actresses, there was different body types, different personalities, looks. Do you think that that's important to keep something like that around, that as like role model for children and teenagers, that all women come in different shapes and sizes, personalities, goths, punks, whatever it is? And GLOW really had that represented well. Do you think that's kind of disappeared from wrestling these days?
Well, something's got to be said for the fact that, the WWE, TNA, they wouldn't be such big promotions if they didn't know what they were doing. Mm-hmm. But the success that GLOW had, and I appreciate everything that you said, the success for GLOW was that it was a character-based, it was character-driven. Mm-hmm. And for me, you can't have the same character profile and just put a different costume on it. To me, I want to be visually stimulated. I want, if there's going to be a giant, she needs to be a giant. That's what's so great about Karma. If there is a baby face, then she should look like a babyface. If there's a heel, make her look like a heel. I mean, we loved having our characters, and we loved the costumes and the makeup, and we had a lot of flexibility with our roles, and we had the opportunity to create these really outrageous characters. And I think that the audience today would still be just as interested. Why it's not pursued, why they haven't really pushed the envelope, I don't know. But I like the fact that they're trying. I like that they're giving Karma that opportunity. Awesome Kong, or whatever name she's going by. I love that, because I think with her success, that's going to open the door for other women to demonstrate what they can bring to the table.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Well, we're running up to our time limit now. I just wanted to go back to the movie real briefly. Have you actually seen the finished piece?
No, I haven't, but I have been dealing directly with the documentary guys regarding the documentary. As far as, I took Ninochka to Dallas for her interview, so I got to see that. I got to see several interviews. I led the reunion that takes place in the documentary, so I obviously was hands-on with that whole project, so I felt really like I knew the direction in which this documentary is going to go. I think you're going to be very pleased with it. It's an awesome story. The documentary is premiering at Hot Docs, but you can also go to www.glowalumni.com if you want to get insights on other festivals it's appearing at. I will tell you that we just found out that it's going to be most likely at the Newport Film Festival and the LA Film Festival, which is going to be going around, I think, May 1st and May 3rd. I am making it a priority to be at those festivals, and because it's in California, several other GLOW girls will be able to attend these festivals. So if you're looking at seeing the GLOW documentary on a big screen with GLOW girls in the audience, then go to www.glowthemovie.com and make sure that you can get to one of these screenings.
Wow. Well, there we go. I definitely encourage everybody listening to do that. I was at the Wrestle Reunion show in LA back in January. Some of the GLOW girls had a booth there. I think Roxy was there, Hollywood, Melody, and you guys are all very friendly, outgoing people, make all the fans feel like friends. So if they get a chance to meet with you at these festivals, I definitely encourage it. Definitely.
Well, thank you. And also, another opportunity to see the GLOW girls would be at the CAC this year, April 16th, 17th, and 18th, Las Vegas, Nevada, Gold Coast Hotel. The Nostalgia Room, where the GLOW girls have a table in the Nostalgia Room, is open to the public. You do not have to buy a banquet ticket or be a member of the CAC to enter the Nostalgia Room. Also in the Nostalgia Room is where you'll see other, WWE legends and TNA legends and selling DVDs, T-shirts, photos. If you're in the Las Vegas area or can get to the Las Vegas area, it's an awesome opportunity to interact with the GLOW girls in a really friendly environment and be a part of wrestling history.
Yeah. Again, they can also go to your official Facebook page and see pictures from last year's event, and big names like Jake the Snake Roberts, the Honky Tonk Man, Rowdy Roddy Piper, and you're in the middle of it. You're mingling with them all.
I know. I'm like the biggest fan. I can't wait to get a picture taken with one of these legends. It was fantastic. And this year we have some real big names. Keep checking caulifloweralley.org to see who's getting inducted. But close to my heart, and I'm very excited about the fact that Lisa Moretti is getting the Female Honorary Award this year. And as many GLOW girls as possible are going to be there to support her in this induction. It is huge for GLOW. It's huge for female wrestling, and we're just so excited that she's in support of all of it. We're very excited to see her, and she's not one to do a lot of signings. So if you are an Ivory fan or a Tina Ferrari fan, this is one of those rare opportunities to see her, meet and greet, and get a signed 8x10.
Well, there we go. You heard it straight from Little Egypt right there. This could be one of your... In fact, it is a very rare chance to get with Lisa, Tina Ferrari, Ivory, and meet the legend herself. And congratulations to Lisa for being paid that tribute. It's a really good honor for her. It is. Well,
yeah, I'm very excited. Daniel, it was great talking to you. Thank you so much for your time. Be sure to send me the link so I can post it on my pages and make sure that we have a broad reach for your interview.
I will. We'll make sure we get it out there. And again, Little Egypt, I really appreciate your time today, and wish you well at Cauliflower Alley, and good luck with the movie.
Yeah, thank you. Great talking to you.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.